All right, we are live. What's up, everyone? Long time no talk. I feel bad, actually. I feel bad that I haven't done a stream in, oh man, it's been a while. It's been, I want to say like 4 weeks or something. I took a little bit of time. I had an interesting couple weeks. So, for those of you guys who don't know, I went to Los Angeles for a few days for Vid Summit 2017, which is a business side of YouTube conference. Had a lot of fun with that. Been trying to implement some of the things I learned in my videos. Some have been good, some have been bad. I've been playing with it. I got the baby on the way still. That's still coming up. So we've been planning the baby shower, getting the baby's room ready to go. Just a lot of crap. And I've just wanted to take a little bit of time. It's not that I haven't liked streaming. I enjoy it. I'm just trying to I guess you could say, rebalance my life to an extent. And I tried busting out Rustl'd as its own thing, as a long form show, and not a lot of people really dug it. So I'm like, okay, I'll do the individual videos and then we'll do this. I got a whole lineup of shit to look at today. And this is this is kind of the evolution of Weird, Wild, and What the Fuck, just to be on the fair side. This is an evolution of that. You've got, I think it's been a long time coming. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but at the same time, it's also if I want to expand past that, if I want to bring other people in or bring other things in or whatever, having it called Weird, Wild, What the Fuck is definitely going to be a little off-putting. Whereas Rustl'd, on the other hand, not so bad. And there's actually a story to that, which we'll start with that. The story of Rustl'd. Gather round, children. I'm going to tell you a bedtime story. It's actually started back, I want to say, 2 years ago now. I had just moved to Portland and I wanted to expand YouTube. I wanted to make a streaming network. Have a channel dedicated to having other YouTubers with other shows come in and do their shows at a weekly slot. Build an audience that way. A rising tide raises all ships, so to speak. And I wanted to call it Rustl'd. Yes, short for Rustling of Jimmies. I thought that would just be funny. And I sat on the name for a couple of years and I figured, screw it, I would do it. And then after doing a couple live, I never did anything with the concept of the show. And that was predominantly because I just, I didn't really know what to do. You know what I mean? 2015, 2016, crazy times at the YouTubes. Lots was happening. And then, again, a lot of it has to do with just finding the right people to come on board. It's difficult in this particular world to do that sort of thing. So it ended up not going anywhere. Even though I still believe in the concept of it as a whole, this is where we currently are. So what we've got is good selection of stuff to look at today. Yes, Ali Lestrange in the chat says the dream of the 90s is alive in Portland. I absolutely agree that the dream of the 90s is alive in Portland. It is alive. I can't do that just right. Fuck me. The Cowlord 89 things are going okay. Cytotron 9:30 early stream. Yeah, I know. I'm going to try doing it a little bit earlier and a little bit earlier and a little bit earlier. Just so, because that's one of the big complaints is, why is the stream so late? It's because, man, it has to be nighttime outside in order for me to feel alive. It's because my heart and my soul are full of darkness. Mr. Shadow, am I a real person? Yes. Is Everclear still a thing in Portland? I don't ever think Everclear wasn't a thing in Portland. Although I did see those guys cruising through Pasadena once. What news do I have for you? Misanthropic, quite a bit. Porcelain, trust me, the Kevin Spacey thing will be coming up. It won't be the first thing we talk about. It'll be the second thing we talk about, because I figured I would get to the two women on the stream, at least do one of them first, and then we'll get to another one later. Am I high again? No, I'm not high. I'm not high. I've had this pen for 6 months now, and I think it's time I finish it and go get a refill. But no, I'm not stoned. What did Brianna do now? Brianna did a lot. Am I going to give out Halloween candy? If people come over, we just bought pumpkins and decorated them today. So, you know how it is. But is a creature of the night like any decent creative? I'm a creature of the night. That's it. No Slender Grill. No Slender Grill, sirs. No Slender Grill at all. But as you guys can see, I got the Streamlabs tip jar right here, just in case anyone wants to kick in. I'm trying it out. Haven't tried it before. Thought it'd be a lot of fun. Also got the new logo you guys can see bottom below me. This is actually an artist's rendition of my logo made over a year ago, and I totally forgot about. Let's see here. And it looks like my internet is slowing down a little bit. That shouldn't be happening. Might pick back up again. That's very odd. I'm not downloading anything. Just want to make sure some stuff is turned off. I don't want it to screw up too bad. I wonder if Steam is updating anything. There, that seemed to help. I think it was downloading an update. That seemed to help out quite a bit. Are you the only one that thought Red Pill Black might be a fraud? No. No. A lot of people thought Red Pill Black was a fraud. I've actually been getting a lot of messages from people that were fans of hers until this whole situation went down. And then they've looked at what Social Autopsy was. They looked at her response. They looked at her saying, like, everything she says that's like InfoWars-esque. And they're like, whoa, man, whoa, no, it's a bad idea. How'd my cat deal with being cut? Leo, it's been about a month a little over a month, or about a month actually, since the surgery. I think yesterday would have been a month actually. And he's okay. The stitches have all dissolved. He's good to go. As far as I know, that's still happening. So he's still good. I'm not showing you my tits, Plumbus. Stop asking. All right. Why does Brianna woo? Let's get into this here. We're 7 minutes in. We've got, how many people watching right now? 203 people watching. Fan-fucking-tastic. So for those of you guys who are just jumping on in here, real quick recap. This is going to be not a traditional Monday Match show where I go through like my stories for the next day. This is a collection of stories we're going to go through for a little bit and see how they are, and then go from there. Looks like some Streamlabs stuff came in. I don't even know what all that means, so if you send something to Streamlabs, I'll have to double check real quick. I don't quite know even where to do that. So there's that. I really have no freaking idea how any of it works. So anyway, it's all good. It's all freaking good, man. Let's get this up here. All right, where's that at? Okay, so first things first, Brianna Wu. Now this popped up yesterday, and this isn't enough to do a video on, but it's enough to kind of laugh your ass off at. So this also falls into the whole Candace Owens Red Pill Black situation, right? So taking a look at this tweet here, Allison Esposito had said, someone should make an app where you can search by name plus share a non-harassment. Tipping point to break silence is safety in numbers. Now, that in and of itself is a horrible idea. That essentially is what Social Autopsy was and other sites that have been kind of similar, other ideas that have been similar. That's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with wanting to stop sexual harassment or wanting to stop anonymous harassment. I get it. I totally understand it. But the point is that you have to be careful with how you do this. You don't want a witch pursuit, shoot 'em up crazy thingy. If you guys saw last week's South Park, you know what I'm talking about. But Brianna's response here is, many women I've talked to want something like this. I never want to hear this didn't happen because no one reported it ever again. Okay, fine. That is a sentiment I absolutely 100% agree with the exception, with the damn fucking exception here, that you have to still sit there and go through a court of law. This is why due process is a thing. This is why we need to shout down arguments like the support for Social Autopsy, because it's bad. All right, never want to hear anyone didn't report it, or this wouldn't have happened if anyone didn't report it. Fine. But we need to then push the idea that going to the police first is how you report it. Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, social media is not 911. Not 911 at all. And it's ridiculous to make the claim that it is. It's absolutely ridiculous to even attempt to claim that it is. But I do want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think that an app like this does have a good place? Like, do you think that Candace Owens was actually onto something with Social Autopsy? Or do you think that we should spend less time trying to create anonymous doxing platforms and push the idea of putting faith back in the justice system? So there was a $5 super chat that I just missed. I'll take a quick look at that, and then I'll get to that here in a second. But this is the thing. Brianna Wu, Brianna Wu is a goddamn nutter. All right, she's a nutter. She has been for a long time. This is a platform I guarantee you she'll talk about when she's making the push for her congressional bid in Boston next year. All right, she's already trying to get a PAC going. I think she might already have a PAC. She's filed the paperwork at least, and she's trying to become, a senator or a representative. But she's going up against a Democratic incumbent who's well liked in that particular district. So the likelihood of her winning is going to be small. Her likelihood of winning would be better if she relocated to a Republican-run district and then built up from there. But this is the situation. Brianna doesn't ever think that far ahead, which is what leads me to believe that her entire push for Congress is nothing more than just one of those, what's the word I want to use here? Marketing pushes for her company or something is the best way I can describe it. Someone's saying here, imagine a Tumblr emergency hotline. That would be hysterical, actually. That would be really funny to create a 1-800 number and then circulate it around as a Tumblr emergency hotline and then just like play back the messages that you get. Bleep out any personal information, but just have people call in and complain about Tumblr users and then just point and laugh. I would actually very, very, very much check out. So, all right, let's go into the next one here. This is what's going on right now. We're talking about we're going to be talking about freaking Kevin Spacey. This just blew up a couple hours ago. This is a big one here. Star Trek actor Anthony Rapp accuses Kevin Spacey of making sexual advances toward him at 14. That's a hell of a thing. Neither man here is young. So you're talking like the 80s and stuff, right? So here you got Anthony Rapp right here, who currently plays Stamets on Star Trek Discovery, and Kevin Spacey, who plays, well, the cat in 9 Lives. For some reason, he was in that movie. No one still to this day can figure out why. I'm going to go on a limb and claim blackmail. Like, to me, Kevin Spacey appearing in 9 Lives is very similar to how Bill Murray got into Garfield, just nowhere near as cutesy of a story. Bill Murray getting into Garfield is all because he heard that a Coen was working on it. It wasn't the Coen brothers, or even one of the Coen brothers, Joel or Ethan. It was some other Coen, and so he thought that it was the Coen brothers, and so he signed on sight unseen as a result of that, and that's why he views Garfield as the biggest mistake of his career. Kevin Spacey going into 9 Lives, I don't know. I can't tell you, but let's take a look here. All right, so Kevin Spacey has apologized to Anthony Rapp after Rapp alleged Spacey made an unwanted sexual advance towards the Star Trek Discovery actor when he was 14 years old. Spacey at the time was 26. And this is what Kevin Spacey has said. This just popped up here, saying, I have a lot of respect and admiration for Anthony Rapp as an actor. I'm beyond horrified to hear this story. I honestly do not remember the encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago, but if I did behave as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been a deeply inappropriate drunken behavior, and I am sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all of these years. The story has encouraged me to address other things about my life. I know that there are stories out there about me that have some have fueled by the fact that I've been so protective over my privacy. As the closest to me know, in my life, I have had relationships with both men and women. I've loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man. I want to deal with this honesty and openly. I know, honestly and openly, I can't talk right now. And that starts with examining my own behavior, Kevin Spacey. Now, this is the thing to remember about this. This is where it comes into Hollywood, what you guys have to understand about Hollywood. Nothing will happen to Kevin Spacey as a regard to this. All right, because the accusation is that he made a pass at him when he was 14. All right, it's like, it's not like took him in the back and had his way with him sort of thing. Made a drunken pass at him. It's bad, but not as bad as it could be. But what this did is this forced Kevin Spacey to make the ultimate plunge and come out of the closet. Kevin Spacey's been known in Hollywood as being gay for years. It's an open secret. Everyone knows it. But he's been so protective over his privacy that nobody has ever, it's a known thing, but it's never an out there thing. It's never come out, even though, you hear Kevin Spacey, like, oh yeah, I know. But now he came out and he says, I live my life as a gay man. He's now out of the closet. Rapp forced him to come out, and that's actually going to be the bigger story than the reason why. So tomorrow's headlines are going to read, Kevin Spacey comes out as gay. All right. And then the byline to that, or like the couple paragraphs down into the article, is going to be because Anthony Rapp accused him of coming on to him when he was 14 and he was 26 and he was drunk. Like, that's what's going to happen. And so many people have gone on to speculate right now, oh, this just means that Kevin Spacey's career is over because of the witch hunt. It doesn't actually mean shit. Kevin Spacey has 3 movies right now in post-production and another season of House of Cards. He will be fine. The thing to remember here, though, is that when it comes to the gay community in Hollywood, they're very protective, right? They're very protective, and there's a lot of elements there that have always kind of come into play that I don't want to say give them a get out of jail free card, but in some societal respect, it's a get out of jail free card. There was a couple years ago, there was a story of, I forget the guy's name, but he had sued Bryan Singer or accused him of rape. And this happened in like the summer of 1999. And Bryan Singer was able to fight back and say, I was shooting X-Men in Toronto in August of 99. And this guy said that he was flown to Hawaii and they had a bunch of stuff happen to him there. So like there was an attempt to destroy Bryan Singer right before the release of X-Men Days of Future Past that failed horrifically. But if you go and you find photographs, and you can find a lot of photographs of this from parties with Bryan Singer and Roland Emmerich, the director of Independence Day, Stargate, the Day After Tomorrow, 2012, White House Down, Independence Day Resurgence, a bunch of movies, you can find that both of these men, openly gay, nothing wrong with that, holding pool parties where they hold them in West Hollywood, tons and tons and tons of, well, the appropriate word there is either twink or cub, young gay boys show up there. They're over the age of 18. They're supposed to be, at least. And they go there and they party and they drink and they do a bunch of drugs. That's not an unknown thing in the system. It's part of the culture of Los Angeles. And I think a lot of people out there from the outside perspective look at LA and they see one side of it, and it's clearly the most publicized side of it, obviously, but there's a lot more there than you think. There's a lot more hidden away, a lot more buried, a lot more things that are openly discussed when you're in Los Angeles that are kept out of the tabloids. And middle America, like the flyover states, are going to have an idea of how things are, but they have really no idea how things are. It's always fun when you go to a party. Like, I went to a web series party once. Like, the guys from Shmoe Yoho were there. This is like right when they got big, and like Kevin Pollak showed up, and like people there were like, "Hey, you want to go in the back and do blow?" Not those guys. Like other party attendees were asking my girlfriend and I to go to the bathroom and like do a bump of cocaine, and we're like, "Nah, dog, nah, it's cool, man. It's cool. I don't need to do the cocaine. Ain't my thing. Ain't my thing." And that's how it is. Crypto Zoo says here that it's a wretched hive of scum and villainy and pederasts. No, it's not all pederasts, man. There are a few that are there. There are definitely a few that are here. Did you guys hear real quick? I don't have the article up. Did you guys hear about, what's his nuts? Corey Haim's mom coming out and refuting Corey Feldman's claims that this $10 million Kickstarter that he's on right now, this big thing, is actually meant to distract from his legal troubles over the drug bust in Louisiana. And so that's going to be a weird thing too, because as Corey Feldman, if he gets the money, which he may or may not, I have no idea, if he gets the money to go and make this documentary and do the security that he wants to get, if Corey Haim's mother, comes out and denies it, then it's going to be an interesting feud in between both, to be honest with you. Okay, William Rossow says in the chat here, or if I mispronounced it, I'm apologizing. What do you think about people coming after Adam Sandler for touching someone's leg? What? I haven't heard that one. That's a new one. So yeah, I'm not saying that there's not pedophiles or creepy perverts in Hollywood. There are, but what bothers me about Corey Feldman, and I made this clear in my video, is that the longer you don't say anything, the longer you hold on to that information, the more likely it is that kids are going to be hurt. So if you have this information, go to the police with this information, but just sitting there and always kind of touting it around every couple years before you have a new project coming out or a new book or a new CD or whatever, it starts to call a lot of it into question. And that's just the way that I see it. Corey Haim's mom knew what was going on, so she is just covering gay get ass? She's covering to get ass, or she's covering... What are you talking about, Laura Jean? You wouldn't trust Corey Haim's mom? She outs him? Maybe. I don't know. If she's getting paid, again, that's going to be something to look into. Is she getting paid by other people? Those are questions. Those are questions that need to be answered. But I still stand by my statement. If you have the information, go to the goddamn cops. So if you were the FBI, you would compel them to testify? Yeah. Corey Feldman went to the police in 1993. They named names. They did nothing. Well, you know what, Laura Jean? It's 2017. It's been 24 years. Do it again. Do it again. Get a better lawyer. Do it again. You know what I mean? Like, just the thing is, you keep trying. You don't do it once and go, well, I went there and nothing happened. I mean, I'll wait 24 years and keep talking about it and still never attempt to do it again. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that's just, it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. All right. Let me take a quick look here. All right. Where am I at? Okay. All right, here's a different one. Well, this one's not as hardcore of a topic. All right, so this is a woman who had her data stolen 15 times, her ID stolen 15 times after the Equifax breach. Right, we're 150 up to 150 million Americans right now have had their stuff taken. And this woman had it done 15 times. Saying here in Seattle, oh shit, I don't live too far away from Seattle. I got to keep that. I got to go and I've already like locked down my credit, but it's still like, I'm still paranoid. Katie Van Fleet says she spent months trying to regain her stolen identity. I don't know if my information has been sold to the dark web or wherever this goes. I keep receiving letters from Kohl's, from Macy's, from Old Navy saying thank you for your application. But she says she's never applied for a credit card from any of those places. Instead, Van Fleet and her attorney believe her personal data was stolen during the massive Equifax security breach. It's a product that they want to sell and that they need to profit off of. Her attorney, Catherine Fleming, says it's what they care about. And she's filed a class action lawsuit against Equifax, saying the company was negligent when it lost private information on more than 140 million Americans. Now, we know that the Equifax, like, they got hit before, I think, and this went on for a couple months, from like May until like the end of June, right? So that's pretty crazy. That she's had, like, that people have continued trying to use her identity. And if you were one of the hackers who got the info, who got the intel, like, would you just try one at one location, or would you just try one at multiple locations? If I recall, like, I don't know, something about this seems a little bit odd to me. I don't know a lot about the whole situation with Equifax and everything else. In terms of like where the data's gone or how it was breached. I know that it's been breached. A lot of people are talking about it. It's definitely a thing to consider. It's one of those things too where it's kind of like, there people out there are really kind of cavalier with their credit. So you have to wonder, was this because of the Equifax thing, or did they just happen to get their hands on her information and then use it right around that same time, and it's just applied to that? I'm sure it has to do with Equifax. I'm not trying to discredit her at all or discount her at all. I'm just kind of curious. But I remember watching the Adam Ruins Everything on on credit cards and securing the data, and how a lot of it is just security theater. Like I went to I had to go to the vet recently to pick up medication for my cat, and I paid with my card, and they're like, oh, we need your signature, and I'm just like, why do you need my signature for this when no one is cross-referencing it against anything else? I could sit there and I write my signature different on purpose to see if it ever gets flagged. It never gets flagged. No one ever checks it. It's just security theater. I understand the concept of a PIN, right? But if I go and I put my debit card, which now pretty much almost all debit cards are debit/credit, so I just put that in there and I hit credit over debit, I don't got to worry about that anymore. And they don't even ask a lot of times anymore for my zip code or any other piece of information. I go to Costco gas, I put in my debit card, I say debit, and they go, okay, put in my PIN code. I put in credit, they ask me nothing. They ask me absolutely nothing. I just find that to be hysterical to me. That's where we are right now. So you just Gruntin HGH here says, I just draw a dick on the touch screen. That's that's pretty funny, man. That's pretty goddamn funny. You know, it's yeah. Just see, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna start drawing a dick. I'll find a way to work it into my. Oh, no, I can totally do that too. Okay, so my initials are MJ, right? And so if I were to go M, right, and then I do a J, so I draw the M, and then on the final thing, I do the J. But if I make it more like a McDonald's arch instead of a hard M, so I go out like this and then out like this and then I come down, I can literally turn my signature into a penis and have it still be relatively legit. I think we're pretty good there. I think I think we're pretty good there. So, yay for middle school humor. I completely agree. I completely agree on that one. Because I like middle school humor. It's a lot of fun. Holy shit. 325 people are watching right now. I don't get that many people watching very often at all. Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah, dude. So all right, let's jump over to the next one here. Where's my damn Firefox? I'm still getting used to all this stuff. Okay, so I'll bring up the Rose McGowan piece, because this one's interesting. This was just coming out today. So Rose McGowan says she was offered significant hush money from someone in Harvey Weinstein's inner circle. This is where I'm getting a little bit concerned with Rose McGowan, if that makes any sense here. I'm getting a little bit concerned with Rose McGowan because it says a lot of things, and you can actually Google Rose McGowan and look through a lot of what she says, and she'll like attack. I think she attacked gay people for like not dealing with equality in the same way or something, or she's done some shit that has come across as like really weird. Then of course there was the X-Men thing from last year, the X-Men Apocalypse thing, where there was a billboard of Apocalypse choking out Mystique, and she was like, violence against women, you know. But now this Harvey Weinstein thing has kind of put her front and center, and I'm wondering if, because the story itself is weeks old at this point, and it's kind of moved on past her, if she's continuously saying this kind of stuff as a way to keep herself in the in the limelight, if you will. And that's something to consider. It's a sad reality when it comes to the entertainment industry, of what people will do to stay in the spotlight. I'm not saying that's what she's doing. I'm saying that it kind of comes across that way. So it says here that after many years of hinting to what transpired, earlier this month, Rose McGowan revealed Harvey Weinstein had raped her in a hotel room when she was a young and on-the-rise actress in 1997. While a non-disclosure agreement seems to have barred McGowan from speaking about Weinstein beforehand, in an interview with the New York Times, sheds light on the means Weinstein and his inner circle recently went through to keep her from disclosing what exactly occurred. It involved some hush money. Through her lawyer, McGowan said someone close to Weinstein offered her $1 million in hush money in late September, which would have been in exchange for signing a non-disclosure agreement. This was, because with her original settlement in 1997 didn't have a confidentiality clause, which she only learned about this summer. Now, what does that tell? Okay, I'm sorry, I have to stop there. Like, if she signed a non-disclosure agreement, or if she signed an agreement with Harvey Weinstein back in 1997 for what happened, she would have probably had a lawyer, and that lawyer would have instructed her to, would have looked over it, right? Or if she didn't have a lawyer, then that's just okay. But why would there be a clause? Why wouldn't there be an NDA clause? If you're paying someone $100,000 to not say anything about a sexual assault situation, you would put in there an NDA, right? Like I've done a couple sponsored content videos at this point now, and in there is a non-disparagement clause, meaning I can't negatively talk about the company for a set amount of time. So in essence, it's almost like an NDA, but here you've got her. She just learned about this summer. Come on. I can't be the only one here that's looking at this like it's a little bit on the BS side, right? I can't be the only one that's seeing that. It just comes across to me as like, what next, Rose? Did they fly you to Paris in the middle of the night, sit you down with President Bill Clinton in 1998, and then instruct you that Harvey Weinstein was in fact a Secret Service agent working on behalf of the United States government to stop the Cold War Part 2 from happening, and that at this point his raping of you is more of an accidental on the job situation versus anything else? You need to keep quiet for the sake of America. Is that, no, none of that happened. None of that happened. But I have a feeling that's going to be the next thing she says. Oh man. I don't know. I'm having trouble with these stories, guys. I just really am. I've had all these people all these people I'm paying telling me to take it so I could fund my art, McGowan explained to the Times. Eventually, she responded to Weinstein's associate asking for $6 million instead. I figured I could probably have gotten up to $3 million. She said, but I was like, ew, gross, you're disgusting. I don't want your money. That would make me feel disgusting. Ultimately, her mind was changed a few days later when the first of many bombshell articles about Weinstein's decade-long sexual harassment assault history was published. As of now, she'll continue to live in Hawaii as she finishes up her memoir, Brave. So what does that tell you right there? So this is going to be a selling point for her book. That's all it is. So she's working on a memoir called Brave. Okay, so there's your plug for the book. Okay, so the book is going to be coming. She's going to have to keep herself in this story all the way through the release of the first of the book. Okay, so here's my thoughts and my predictions on Rose McGowan. We're going to see her stick around for a while. She's going to keep popping up to keep herself in the headlines. She'll say something crazy happened to her. She'll say this happened to her. She'll say she's doing this or something like that is happening. And that's, I'm not saying the event with Harvey Weinstein never happened, but I'm saying like, it just feels at this point now, she's playing the game. And that's the whole thing she says here. Like, oh, I could have got him to $3 million to shut up. That's playing the game. So now her game is moving on to something with far greater aspirations. And that's a reality of a lot of Hollywood, a lot of people in power that are trying to, or people who don't have power trying to take power, trying to get ahead. And this can either blow up in her face or really work out well for her. I don't know, to be honest with you. I really have no idea what's going on with that. I just find it to be interesting. And also, yeah, the title of the book feels a little bit, a little bit pretentious, I will say. A little bit pretentious is what the book title feels like. So there was a story too. Robert Rodriguez came out the other day and had said that, what was it? He had said that Rose had told him about what happened, and he cast her in Grindhouse as a way to kind of give a fuck you to Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, Trippy Poop, I'm not disagreeing with you about how hot Rose McGowan was in Jawbreaker, or Scream, or the first couple seasons of Charmed. So, yeah, not disagreeing with that at all. But he had cast her in that role as a way to kind of get back at Harvey Weinstein and make Harvey Weinstein pay for it. But then Robert Rodriguez said that Weinstein tanked the movie, tanked Grindhouse and everything else. And I did record a video about it and unfortunately my mic was turned off. I know that sounds stupid. I had muted it accidentally and then didn't realize it. So I just kind of dropped the story, but I went and I took a look at Robert Rodriguez's box office totals for most of his movies that he had done with Harvey Weinstein. And, Grindhouse as a whole made about as much as his top grossing films in the Spy Kids. Well, Spy Kids total made more. I think 1 and 3 made more, but it was up there for his top grossing films that he had made with Weinstein. So, and it was still a vanity project for Quentin Tarantino ultimately. So essentially that's a lot of what it boiled down to. Is I don't think Harvey Weinstein buried it. It's hard to sell Grindhouse on mainstream audiences. I saw it twice in the theater. I loved that movie. I own the DVD and I own the Blu-ray, and everything else. But it's that whole notion too of like, in 2007, selling a 3-hour and 11-minute movie was kind of difficult, right? Kind of difficult. So there is definitely that to consider. All right, though, let's take a quick break for a second. I just need to get some water. I still got a whole lineup of more things. Yeah, I got like 4 or 5 more stories to go through. Or if anyone has any they want to send me, go ahead and send them to me, mundanemat.com/submit. Links are in the video description. I'm going to take a quick look here at the super chat. So I'm going to definitely, I'm trying to find a way to, can I pop this out at all? Can I pop it out? No, I can't pop it out. Shit. Okay. I don't have it. I'm not on the same browser. So I'll just go through this real quick. Cause I apparently am a fool and totally screwed that up. So, okay. Let me just refresh the page here, cause it's, Google Chrome likes to screw up and whatnot. All right. So we had a $2 super chat from Leo Moon early on, which I did mention real quick, but said, "How is my cat dealing with being cut?" Referring to the Mundane Cat GoFundMe for my cat Chance a month ago, where he had surgery to get a gallbladder stone removed. He is good, back to basically top notch. In fact, tonight was his last night taking medication. So he's been on pills for a month, multiple medications for a month. He's now off medication. I'm sure he's very happy about that. Nedo Hikari here says, "Notice me, Senpai. When can we collab sometime?" Nedo, I don't do a lot of collabs. It's not that I don't want to. I just haven't quite really figured out how to do it. But with this particular style of podcast that I wanted, this show is, then we'll definitely be looking into doing more collabs. This, of course, the audio from this will still be also probably made onto SoundCloud and then uploaded there as well. And then Unknown Archive here says, "Matt came on to me when I was 14. I think you're older than me, so that is a really weird time. I think I think you got me confused with somebody else unknown." And then $2 from Neto Hikari saying, Mundane saying, asking me the same thing. "You are noticed, Neto. You are noticed. Senpai notices you, sir. Senpai notices all." And then Mike, stuck in the middle of Nopeville, says, "Hey, Matt, first time getting to sit in for a stream of yours, listening while working on a book cover. Good show, dude." Thank you very much, man. I do greatly appreciate it. We will take a few questions from the audience here while I'm looking. Will I let my cast host an episode? Will I do a collab with my cat? He's not in here right now, but I could bring him on one day. Have I been following the battle card system for Battlefront and how crappy EA's become? I followed a little bit of the battle card situation. EA's response back to that essentially said, like, don't worry about it. Like, it's not going to impact the gameplay. And if it's not pay to win, I don't really necessarily care. I mean, if you can, like, we'll have to wait and see how the loot box system goes. The outrage for the loot box system over Shadow of War definitely didn't really matter that much, so to speak. So I'm not, like, too worried about it. And again, loot boxes don't bother me. Loot crates don't bother me. I never buy them. I'm way too cheap. I've got a kid on the way, and a mortgage to pay, man. So I don't spend money on that kind of shit. And I haven't beat Shadow of War yet, so I haven't gotten to the point of where that true ending is accessible. And if I get to that point, which I will be working on very soon, then yeah. But I've been playing Wolfenstein. I've been playing Wolfenstein 2. Oh yeah. Yeah, the kiss with the... Nathan Tyron here says, "I've always knew Kevin Spacey was gay. He enjoyed that kiss with his bodyguard in House of Cards a bit too much." Yeah, well, he also, if you remember too, that was in season 2. In season 1, he admitted to his friend who had died, who they went back to college for the funeral and whatnot, or to remember. He basically admitted having a relationship with him in some physical capacity that also was still emotional, but they couldn't ever express it publicly due to the whole, homophobia that runs rampant in conservatism. At least it did back then, more so than it does now. So it's something to consider. I'm not going to spare Nazis their feelings. I will tell you one thing though. I will say this about Wolfenstein 2. It's a lot of fun, but the level design I find to be really uninspired. The level design this to me feels like kind of what IO Interactive did with what's it called? Oh, fuck me. What's it called? Hitman Absolution, where they went and turned into more of a grindhouse sort of thing. Like, that's what it feels like to me. So, yeah, I'm really thirsty today, guys, so I do apologize for that. So Grindhouse needs a sequel. I do agree, man. I do agree. Destiny 2 is a lot better than Destiny 1. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, Andrew Collins, and loot boxes are again one of the most optional things. You know what I mean? It's like in mobile games, they need, call them out, sure, because that's more of a predatory practice. But if you really want to be mad at AAA games getting this kind of treatment, then you need to yell at like your mom who plays Candy Crush and pays for this kind of shit, or the idiots who fucking played, oh goddamn Farmville and dropped that kind of cash. Let's see, $2 here from to Internet Scum saying, "I missed you, big boy. You missed me." Of course, I missed you, man. I wanted to do streams over. I just was so. I've just been busy, and I just wanted to take a little bit of a break and then kind of reformulate things. And I feel this particular setup works. I think people are enjoying it. I have over double the amount of people watching when I usually do. So I think that works out pretty well. Snap. I know there's no snaps because I'm not recording any of this for videos. So there's that. But the episode will be available as well as everything else. Like, all right, let's so oh, the Kathy did I have not seen the Kathy Griffin video. It's like 17 minutes, so I know that. So I just have not gotten to it yet. I need to check it out. I just haven't watched it yet, which I know is my own damn fault. So there's that. Okay. Where's that at? All right, where was the next one I was at? All right, did that one. Okay, here's a fun one. This is a fun one here. Serial washing machine pooper terrorizes SIU Carbondale campus. It's never a college year unless somebody is taking a shit in a washing machine. Am I right, folks? Am I right or am I right? Yeah, I'm totally right here. That's pretty much how things are at this point. Right. People taking a crap in a goddamn thing. Let's take a look here. All right. Brian Pillar was not prepared for the horrors he found waiting for him in the washing machine. No one is ever prepared for the shit inquisition in a washing machine. That joke completely fell flat. It sounded better in my head. Not so much out loud. A freshman studying design at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Pillar was preparing to wash his clothing in the laundry room last week at Abbott Hall, one of the residence buildings on campus. That's when he made a shocking discovery. You gotta love that in there. It's shocking. Should have been. He discovered something really shitty, right? Or that's when he made a crappy discovery. How would you make that work? How could you add something related to fecal matter as the verb there? Anyway, it says, I went down to the laundry room to wash my clothes, and I opened one of the washers and noticed that it smelled like someone had taken a dump in there. I wondered if maybe someone had an accident in their clothes or something. It's college. People be drinking. People be partying. It can happen. My girlfriend today told me the story about going to the bathroom at the Costco near where we live, and she went into the restroom, and the woman who just left the stall before her had like the rattiest smelling cooter she had ever heard or ever come across, and so she had to fan out the stall a couple times in order to get the smell to dissipate enough in order to be able to use it. So yeah, sometimes these smells linger. Especially when it's from under cheese. That's I think even worse than shit. We can handle the smell of poop. Or it's poop. I mean, poop if it's our poop is not so bad. Other people's poop is totally different though. But when it's someone's genital odors, that's a little bit different of a scenario. Anywho, I digress. Pillar is not alone in his harrowing experience. Erica Miller, a sophomore studying mortuary science, had witnessed the same chilling scene. Oh my god. Oh, shocking, chilling. Find other words that are punny to the situation. Finding poop mixed in with his clothes, no less, on 3 separate occasions. Wait, Erica Miller, is it Eric Miller or Erica Miller? Because it could be. I don't know if it's a trans person or whatever, but they totally just, I think they just misgendered somebody. That's an offense on college campus, man. You can't do that. What's this guy? Whoever wrote this article here, Daniel Hill. You can't do that kind of stuff. Don't you know you can get arrested for that in Canada? I get my clothes out of the washer, and there's the smell. That is what you encounter first, and then you find it. You see actual feces, and you're like, no, thank you. Yeah, obviously. Come on. A load of poop in the washing machine, well, they could have easily passed off as an anomaly, a fluke. Maybe someone had an emergency, and we've all been there. But repeated dumps, that's a whole different matter. One that the students are fearing there is a serial pooper terrorizing the campus grounds. There you have it, folks. Right there is the title of a movie, or the plot line of a film. All right, if Happy Death Day can come out and do pretty well, a Groundhog Day ripoff set around a slasher flick in college, then someone out there can write the serial pooper terrorizes a college campus. Girls trying to wash their nighties find that a skid mark is not the only thing waiting for them in the pooper. I got nowhere on that one. I got nothing. And there's more people have been having the problem as well. So there's someone there. Someone there is taking a shit. is taking a shit on college campuses, and that's just insane to me. So they're taking a crap. Okay, I get it. People out there, they, you got it. No, this is I'm gonna blame the janitor. Fuck it, I'm blaming the janitor. There we go. The Ben C in the chat says there is a new supervillain called the Deuce. That's great, man. I'm stealing that, by the way. I'm gonna steal that and I'm gonna put that in my thing. The Deuce strikes again. Nick's right. That's right. Nathan Cole, I agree. That was a terrible pitch. Everything I do is on the fly. Nothing is ever just thought out. I don't pre-plan anything. Obviously, you've seen my videos. How often do I leave this in there? Yeah, that's embarrassing because I thought I caught all that shit. Motherfucker. Is there going to be security guards standing around watching the machine, making sure they don't shit when they shouldn't? Well, yeah, no, I agree. They should probably place a security camera inside of the laundry room. It just seems to make sense to me at this point. I don't know why they haven't done that just yet, but that's something that's going on. They need to get in there. I need to get in there to do that stuff. That's just wonderful. I mean, oh, the Cowlord 89 says this movie has gone to shit. People from India think a urinal is another form of toilet, so they shit into urinals. Dude, Kurnoff, in Southern California, when you're close to the border, you find trash cans in every stall because people from Mexico don't flush toilet paper, so they wipe their ass and they throw the toilet paper in the fucking in the trash can next to the stall, and you're just like, no, this is America. We have proper plumbing here. Use that shit. L Master 48 says, I once encountered shit plastered all over the walls of a bathroom. Same here. When I used to work at the drive-in, people would shit on a lot of things, and I'd have to go clean it up. That was until I became a manager, and then I made other people go and clean it up. But one of the times, we were in the women's room, and someone had shit, not like on the toilet bowl, but on the wall. I think someone was like squatting over, like a lady was squatting over the toilet bowl, and she shit, and it was like projectile shit. So it went like all over the wall and then like dripped down to the floor. And I looked at one of the new guys. His name was Carl. He was kind of a douche. No one really liked him. And I'm like, hey, Carl, go get some cleaning material, man. You're up cleaning the shit. It's not my job. I heard that a lot too when I was managing. It's not my job. Oh no, it's totally your job, motherfucker. You're a lot guy. All right, go and clean this shit. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette and drink a beer because that's what I'm paid to do. You're being paid to clean up shit. But yeah, this kind of stuff is nasty. So we wait, hold on. Was fucking. Oh no, hey Carl, no, not that, no, not Sargon of Akkad. Another guy, no, named Carl. All right, so this one is a follow-up here to a story going around. I did a single video on it. I just never got around to actually doing anything here. This is a sad story. This is a sad one. It's really shitty. No pun intended to the last story. That the body of the little girl Sharon Matthews was found, and the dad admits to disposing of her body. It's just this, yeah. Like, this is the thing, man. This pissed me off here. So it says here that the adoptive father of a Texas 3-year-old who had been missing for 2.5 weeks admitted to police that he disposed of her body after she choked on her milk, according to a probable cause affidavit. Previously, Wesley Matthews had told authorities that he made Sharon Matthews stand outside because she wouldn't drink her milk, and she disappeared. So remember how absurd that sounded to everybody at the time? Like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's in Texas. You know, and it's like this little girl is drinking milk, won't drink her milk at 3 o'clock in the morning. So he sends her outside, like across the alley, but then notes to the cops that like there were coyotes that are nearby. And then everyone hears that and they're just like, what kind of stupid shit person would do this? And then you realize, oh wait, it's this kind of stupid shit person. Something clearly happened here because they haven't found her. And then we find out that, she choked on her milk. But when you get into why she choked on her milk, it doesn't make the situation any better. It only makes you more mad. So it says here, authorities confirmed on Tuesday that the body of the child found Sunday in a culvert beneath a road that was Sharon Matthews. The cause of death is still pending. The Richardson Police Department posted to its verified Facebook page, citing the Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office. You have to love that they also added in that it's the verified Facebook page, right? Because CNN doesn't want to be accused of spreading fake news anymore. Okay, I just want to make sure that they're abundantly clear. This is not a hoax, people. Okay, this is not. It's from the verified Facebook page. We all know that Facebook doesn't verify people who aren't verified. Okay, they won't verify me, but they'll verify a police department. I think it makes total sense. It makes total sense. So anyway, Wesley Matthews has been charged with injury to a child, a felony punishable with a maximum of 99 years in prison. He was being held on a $1 million bond. 99 years in prison for this. And I honestly think the dude fucking deserves it, man. The affidavit states that Wesley Matthews and his attorney visited the police department and requested an interview. The father told a detective that he had been trying to get Sharon to drink her milk in the garage. She wouldn't listen to him. The affidavit states she then began to drink the milk. What is it with the milk? Right? What is it with the milk? Wesley Matthews then physically assisted the 3-year-old in drinking the milk, the affidavit states. The 3-year-old began to choke and she was coughing and her breathing slowed. Eventually, Wesley Matthews no longer felt a pulse on the child and believed she had died. Now, again, this is where I think I call BS on the story. So, how? A 3-year-old would know how to drink. You know what I mean? It's not something they're not going to understand. So she's drinking the milk. Then she starts choking on the milk. And he physically assisted, which means he was holding her. He was probably holding her and then pouring it down her throat. He was probably, and I want to go as far as to say it's probably a quart or a half gallon or a gallon, right? It's clearly going to be a large container of milk. They're in the garage in order to clean up the milk when it spills. They're going out there to where if it just gets on the floor there, a little bit of soap water and you're done. So he basically choked her out on milk. And then dumped her body in a culvert, and then told the cops and then waited 5 hours and then told the cops that she was missing. What kind of shit is this? I don't believe that at all. I think when they find her body, they're going to find a lot more than just she drowned on milk. And then her original story is that he had left her outside at 3 a.m. as punishment because she wouldn't drink her milk. According to, it's ridiculous. It's so sad. A 3-year-old girl is dead as a result of this guy trying to force feed her milk, and what kind of shit is this, what kind of crap, man? It's all nonsense. It's all bullshit. It's a lot of stuff. I just, I want to know what you guys think though. Fuzzy Cat says, I think he choked her with his dick. I don't know if I'd go that far. I see where your line of thought is on this one, and or your train of thought is, and I'm not entirely disagreeing with you. I think we're going to find a bit more than just that. Even if it wasn't milk, he sent her outside at 3 a.m. I know he sent her outside at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Even though it's Texas, it's like, no, you don't do that. You bet it was expired milk? That's disgusting. Ronald McRaygun. I don't smoke. I quit 11 years ago now, and I used a pen cap. You can actually find a video I made about that. It's on what is it called? It's on my other YouTube channel, Disciple87, DECPILE87. You can find it on there. Oh God, Kiki, that's disgusting. They say penis milk. Okay, look, let's just, if that you could produce enough penis milk to drown her in it, that's horrifying. And that's also another horror movie. Yeah, he clearly waterboarded her. I know. No. I don't disagree. What's going on, Fry Guy? I don't disagree with you right there. Let's not go that far. I know it's a horrible situation. It's not one that you wanna like, you know, look at. Okay, real quick thing. So I am looking at since I've never done this sort of thing with Streamlabs before, I do see that there are some tips in there and stuff, which is awesome. I don't know if anyone sent any messages or not. I haven't gotten any notifications. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure that out. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. This actually tells me my super chats here. Scott Leno says, why call it Rustl'd? What's the deal with snapping gaps in some videos? All right. Real quick. So the snapping gaps are from when I make a mistake and I want to go back. I usually go like this, and then I pause, and then I wait a little bit, and like it goes silent. So then when I'm going back and I'm reviewing the footage, I look for that in the audio wave file. I look for the spikes. But sometimes it doesn't come, it goes like this where it's lighter and I don't always see it. And because I usually tend to produce 3 to 6 videos at a time, my brain is focused on getting it done. And I'm usually trying to get through the editing process as fast as humanly possible. And then I can overlook them. And there's been a couple instances this week where I've overlooked them. I know the GameStop video today had it and the Ellen DeGeneres video the other day had it. And I actually recorded those at the same time. No, I didn't record those at the same time, but I just made a mistake. So that's what that was. Why I call it Rustl'd is because it's meant to be Rustl'd of Jimmy's, talking about crazy stories and things like that. So it's definitely something to consider there. And yeah, so that's definitely cool. I didn't know that was on there. Okay, awesome stuff. Okay, I think I've got, what do I got here? I got, I think one more. Oh no, I got a couple more. All right, we'll do this one right here. This is kind of a fun one here. This is going around. So a woman here puts in, you know, she wants to protest some stuff. So she's pulling up her she's going into a crowded station to criminalize upskirting, or to call out upskirting it. So basically where people walk by and take photographs up girls' skirts. And I completely agree with the reasoning behind it here. Also not entirely against the thing here, because she's kind of hot. So it says here that a young Russian woman has staged a solo protest by pulling up her skirt on the St. Petersburg subway. The protest, so-called upskirting, the practice wherein men take pictures under the skirt of an unaware victim. I do believe Reddit had a whole forum dedicated to that called "Our Creep Shots," which is very... Yeah, that was the thing. And you gotta love what the thumbnail is. It's just like, it's just booty. Goddamn signups. I understand that it's RT, all right, and RT is 90% propaganda. I get that. This is still, you know, I don't really think this is much on the propaganda side, as it's just an interesting story. Russian student Anna, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce her last name, who describes herself as a public activist. If she was naked, we could call her a pubic activist. Yeah, I'll see myself out. That's a horrible joke. Published a video manifest in which a young woman stands in the middle of a series of crowded St. Petersburg subway stations and hikes up a red dress in front of the camera. You know, I've seen some other types of movies that start off like this as well. Saying here that the video is dedicated to all of those who love to peek under skirts. On behalf of all women who become your victims, here, look and stay away from us. Okay. So, so there's definitely that. So she's standing here and she's, you know, pulls up her dress, exposes her navel, exposes her underwear. Ha ha ha, take a picture. It will last longer, is essentially what I'm getting from this. And I understand the concept behind it. I understand what she's trying to do. I just can't help but kind of laugh at that, to be honest with you. Mostly because it's like, I don't know if this is really going to like either continuously try to get more men to attempt to do this, because then they're going to want to see more protests, or it's not just her, it's other girls in dresses standing there pulling up their underwear while they walk around the platform at the train station. I mean, that could be a tactic. Right? That could be a tactic. But that being said, I do applaud her for doing that in Russia. right? You wouldn't think there'd be that much freedom in Russia. I'm surprised at this point her protesting this type of criminality hasn't ended up with her going straight going straight to jail or something. Someone in the chat saying, "Yep, she wants to be a martyr." Maybe she does, but I wish her luck in trying to get it all done. And so there you have it on this one. I thought that it was just an interesting story. I did think about making this my thumbnail to attract in more people, but I figured it's near Halloween, so Brianna Wu would be a good thing, right? You know, what's going to draw more attention? This in terms of or this girl right here. You know, it could be either or, but I'm just saying. The protest is a Russian plot. Are we getting lag right now? Is that what's happening? There shouldn't be any lag. I'm pulling in 3,200 kilobytes a second, man. So if we are getting lag right now, that is probably not on me. Okay, so this one is a fun one. Shooter McGavin, actor, gets arrested for DUI, tells cops he was in Happy Gilmore. This just happened today. I really wanted to talk about this because I like Christopher McDonald. I always have liked Christopher McDonald. Says here that he's appeared in nearly 200 films, yet he will forever be known as Shooter McGavin, his legendary character in the incredibly unrealistic golf film Happy Gilmore. Okay, so I just want to stop right there. So Christopher Powers here writes the incredibly unrealistic golf film. Do you want, like, yeah, obviously he's out there. It's stupid Adam Sandler. It was Adam Sandler's second comedy. It was his sophomore effort in terms of a starring role. This was coming off the heels of Billy Madison, right? Like, yes, it's an incredibly stupid concept, but you could call it an incredibly stupid golf film, but calling it incredibly unrealistic is just trying to claim, at least at some point, somebody had made the claim, oh yeah, that totally happened. This is a documentary. No one out there has ever made that claim. Christopher Powers. No one. All right. It'd be like saying that, you know, Caddyshack is like an Andre Agassi's a tennis player. It's a baseball player. Tiger Woods biography. How about that? There's that one. Anyway, clearly these Los Angeles cops have never seen the movie. Oh no. On Saturday night, McDonald was arrested for drunk driving in the Lake Arrowhead area of Los Angeles, according to a report from TMZ, who obtained his all-time mugshot. Look at this dude. He's just happy someone's paying attention to him again. That's pretty much what's happening right here. So the 62-year-old actor reportedly lost control of his Porsche and crashed into a gas meter around 9 p.m. local time before cops took him into custody. An eyewitness says McDonald told them he appeared in Happy Gilmore. Let's see how it played out for him. Believe it or not, LA's finest were not amused and took McDonald to a local jail to sober him up before he can be released without bail. He had won the tour championship. Something tells us things would have gone. Oh, had he won the tour championship? Okay. 2013, he was also arrested for driving while intoxicated. And so, yeah, that seems to be an ongoing thing here. But just look at that freaking mugshot. That dude is like, hey, man, I've been in some movies, and I'm still arrested. That means I'm not as infamous as I would like to be, folks. I want to get a copy of this without the TMZ logo, just because that is great. That looks like something you would see from like an angry grandpa video or something. That just cracks me up, man. That cracks me up. But yeah, you know him from Flubber. Nathan, this guy's been in over 200 movies, so he's been in a lot of things. At this point, it is clearly, it is very much his, you know who he is. You know who he is. It looks like Wolverine's great granddad. Yeah, I don't disagree. I do not disagree with that at all. So, all right. Let me take a quick look here if I've missed any. All right, so Kayla Nanya on Super Chat real quick says 350 free press of Kekistan. Okay. So we got that one there. I just got one more story locked and loaded. If anyone has anything they want to send me real quick. I got a couple posts. We'll do a couple more of these things. So All right, let me take a quick look here at these before you go into like the last story. Let me just bring that up there. I know you guys want to see this again. I'm actually kind of like the thumbnail. I think the thumbnail works. I'm taking a quick look here at some of the. All right, wait, something happening here with Nickelodeon. Hold on. Oh no, someone is. Oh god, Red State. Oh, they've already gone after Dan Schneider. Oh god. Oh, you can't. Oh no. All right, we'll take a look at this one here. If I recall correctly, I don't know if this is real. I think this is fake. I think this is just a meme at this point. It's just a meme from Twitter. I know people have talked about it before. Like it's like an internet theory, like a working internet theory about Dan Schneider and Nickelodeon. Saying here that the Harvey Weinstein scandal may have opened up a whole can of worms for Hollywood, but to employ another metaphor, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The scandal is due to crack wide open any day now, and it's not just another Weinstein tale. It's worse. Okay, so this is written by Kira Davis. By now, we've all been reminded of actor Corey Feldman's accusations years ago that Hollywood is home to a lot of pedophiles with massive industry influence. Feldman confirmed his own abuse and said his friend and acting partner Corey Haim had been abused worse than Feldman himself. Apparently, Haim and other actors were frequently passed around by older executives and agents in what Feldman likened to a pedophile ring of sorts. The Goonie actor said, "I was surrounded by pedophiles, literally surrounded. They were everywhere." So you have Different Strokes actor Todd Bridges descending into drug use and madness after his success as a child actor, largely due to sexual abuse he suffered at the hands of adults he'd been left with during his years of filming. And he's been very vocal about how kids are vulnerable in the industry. Again, we completely agree. Now it says here that, however, this isn't limited to a time gone by. Rumblings are growing louder and louder that one of Hollywood's biggest producers of children's entertainment is about to be outed as a major incubator for pedophile executives and their twisted manipulations. Now, this is coming from redstate.com, so definitely take this with an absolute grain of salt. Dan Schneider is a former actor and producer at Nickelodeon. He's responsible for nearly every one of their biggest successes over the last 20 years. Schneider has produced and written shows that have given us breakout stars like Ariana Grande, Amanda Bynes, and Victoria Justice. Sure, on Victoria Justice, I guess? I have no idea. I remember 4chan had a thing with her for a while. Anyway, the guys who, by the way, are probably looking into this pretty heavily are the ones that were obsessed with people like Ariana Grande and Victoria Justice and Bella Thorne. Who knows if it was before or after they turned 18, but it was around that time. Anyway, Schneider has also been the subject of some very odd and disturbing rumors for years. One need only search his name on the internet to find pretty damning rumors about him going back years. There are stories of his foot fetishes and how he acts them out on young extras alone in his office. There are stories about his relationship with his underage teenage stars and how they lead to spin-off shows for girls or blacklisting for those who don't participate. Over the years, many anonymous actors and users have told their stories on forums like Reddit and in chat rooms. And I've seen this pop up quite a bit. And again, it's like that whole, like, it feels more like it's one of those running memes like Sam Hyde, versus anything with any actual merit. As bad as that sounds, that's what it appears to me, because I haven't seen any corroborative evidence yet. And there's been like no one going to the police, and none of these actors have come out and publicly stated anything. And people do like to just create these kind of boogeymen, if you will. I don't know if Dan Schneider's a good guy or a bad guy. All I'm saying is, and I'll say this for anything, is go to the damn cops. So one of the greatest examples of an alleged child predator producer is Dan Schneider, who created and wrote Zoe 101, All That, Victorious, iCarly, The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, What I Like About You, and is the most successful writer / TV executive in children's entertainment television for the last 30 years. Now, Robert Downey Jr. allegedly wrote the following statement about Dan Schneider on Crazy Days and Nights under the screen name Him. And again, what you have to understand about this is all purely speculation about Robert Downey Jr. There is a chat room, or there's a blog called Crazy Days and Nights that apparently talks about Hollywood executives and some of the shit that goes on there. And it's rumored, heavily rumored, but rumored nonetheless, that this is Robert Downey Jr. who is under this particular handle. And people have, likened it to him because of certain things that him have said over the course of the years. Again, No evidence for this, pure speculation, pure internet rumoring, and that's what's going on here. So it says here that he is a monster, the worst predator alive. And if you wonder why nobody will confront or charge him, it's because he's in charge of multiple hit shows for Nick, which rakes in oceans of money. Tens of millions of dollars multiplied by many years and many shows, not to mention his merchandising royalties. So Viacom Nick warm him to cool it and then pay for his damn lawyers. What about the parents? No tweener parent who shoved their kid in the limelight from birth is going to cross him either and risk career suicide and loss of revenue and residuals and future career, no matter how bad it fucks up the kids, especially if there's multiple kid actors in the family. And the kid agents are complicit too. Just ask the Spears family. A lot of settlements get paid out of Viacom accounts. And this, again, these are massive accusations that do require evidence, that pesky 8-letter word that a lot of people always tend to bring up. It's just rumor and speculation. So going on to say here that there have been rumors swirling about Dan Schneider for quite some time. Rumors that he is a father of Jamie Lynn Spears' daughter, got Amanda Bynes pregnant, then paid for her abortion, then took the virginity of countless Nickelodeon starlets. A quick Google search will show you how many people are catching on to this guy and questioning his innocence. It just... Again, rumor, speculation, people keep typing it in. It plays with that algorithm. There's also a recent post on Reddit's subreddit r Today I Learned, a section about Snyder, and most of the comments highlight his creepy behavior and the fact that he's an alleged pedophile. One commenter even made an allegation about being paid $100 to have her feet tickled by Dan in the privacy of his office while working as an extra on The Amanda Show. Much like a high-ranking priest, Dan Schneider and many others like him will probably never be exposed, but unfortunately, hey, that's show business, and there's a lot there. And so I'm not going to go further into this because I don't really feel like I need to, but spend a lot of time on it. It's these particular situations are ones that require, again, evidence. These are serious allegations. We're seeing a witch hunt mentality right now in Hollywood. We're seeing safety in numbers being the cause of that witch hunt. And if you watched South Park this last week, you would have seen that there would have been a lot of stuff against that. There would have been a lot of things arguing against that. Not everyone is like this. Don't resort to a witch hunt, so on and so forth. And I think that's an actual pretty fair thing. It is what it is. Okay. DKJ Spectator here says, wrapping your arms around an underage girl that isn't your daughter, that's like a huge red flag. Again, okay, and this is the thing. When you work on movies, when you work on TV shows, you become a family. You become very close with everyone who's there. You are on set for 10 to 12 hours, if not more, every single day. These people get to know every little thing about you, good or bad. What makes you tick, what makes you mad, what makes you angry. These things happen. Right? You get to know people very well because you're in that much enclosed space with them for months at a time. And if you work on a TV show, it's years. So producers are on set. They get to know the child actors. They become friends with them, family with them. Everyone's very friendly. So that's why those photos are like that. To a person who's not in the industry, who doesn't understand how that works, it comes across as creepy. And that, again, is part of this weird public perception right now of Hollywood and not understanding how a lot of this stuff plays out. I'm not defending what happens, the negative that happens there, but there are certain things that I watch a lot of commentary on and a lot of speculation on that I know from personal experience are just not true. And so I feel the need to call it out, but that's hard to counteract that narrative when it comes to dealing with this particular subject matter, because it never bodes well. It never bodes well at all. Ben Masta, in your opinion, a 30-year-old wanting to fuck a 15-year-old is a pedo? No, that's not how that word works, man. You can't sit there and claim that a 15-year-old is prepubescent. All right, it would be considered, I think, like an ebophile, or because there's oh god damn, why do we have to have this conversation? 3 classifications for this particular type of thing, and it boils down to age groups. You have, I think 11 and younger would be pedophile. 12 to 15 is basically, I think, a hebephile, and then you have 16 through 18 is like an ehebephile. There are classifications. These words have meanings. And I hate having to always correct people of that, because they keep using this word and further diluting its merit, diluting its importance. To call someone a pedophile is a serious accusation. Is not one you can just throw around. Look at Lane Davis, Seattle for Truth, right? He called his dad a leftist pedophile because he got into a fight and his dad called him a Nazi. And the same thing, that was his go-to insult for a number of people, was to call them leftist pedophiles, to the point of where the word no longer has any meaning. Don't believe me? Go watch Chris Ray Gun's video, Punch a Nazi, and look at what he talks about the word Nazi being there, and then just exchange that with literally any other overused pejorative, and you can see my point. So there's that. I'm just saying it's like the classification. Yeah. Egaligamer says that the age of consent in Australia is 16. The age of consent in Washington state is 16. The age of consent in other states vary from ages 16 to 18. So again, the classification, these words have meanings, and to throw it around like that dilutes it, delineates it, and it takes away from its power. And it's the same thing. It's just, this is the whole point. It's like, you've got to be careful with using these particular words. So there's definitely that. Maine is 16, according to Roger Blankenship. By the way, love the screen name, dude. Fucking MXC, man. No, it's Kenny Blankenship. Never mind, my bad. So, yeah, JPET, this is the new live stream show, yeah. Like, I don't agree. So, I'm just saying, like, yeah, you have to approach this scenario or this subject matter with the right terminology, the right wording, the right everything, because of the implications and because of the consequences of those accusations, whether they are true or false. You have to be willing to do that. And a lot of people out there just aren't willing to do that. And that is very unfortunate, because the internet doesn't really grant you the ability to respond with the appropriate, dialogue. It's usually knee jerk. This person's this, mob mentality picks up on that mentality and runs from there. So yeah. I don't want to, use words right. Yes. That's what I want to say. Use words right. God damn it. That's all I want to say. All right, let's go into the last story here. I'll take a quick look through here. So, all right. Okay. Hold on, what's Twitter offering? Someone sent me a thing here. Twitter multi-million-dollar user. No, I'm not gonna go that one. Okay. Uber is charging their drivers to work. Oh, God damn it. Maybe I'll say them for maybe tomorrow or something. I don't have a full set yet on how many days I'm going to do this. But it's definitely, are you guys enjoying the format a lot better here? We've gone through a bunch of stories. There's still a bunch more that I found that I didn't put into the docket that I could easily save for like tomorrow or something. Also, if anyone here wants to, jump into the Discord, there's a link for that in the video description. I'm on the Discord pretty frequently. I chat on there quite a bit. And so it's a way to jump into the conversation there. And so, okay, where's this last one here? I'm just going to check one thing real quick. I'm like using way too many different windows here, so it's screwing me up. That's my problem. And so in response to the last episode, Tangerine Orange here said, well, let's be glad, Matt, it's not Rob Schneider. Fair enough. Fair enough. How about that? I will totally, okay, I'll agree. Be happy it's not Rob Schneider. That would just be funny. Oh man, yeah. God, Rob Schneider. Rob fucking Schneider. Unsolved mysteries will rise again. That's something I want to work on. So, all right. This last one here is pretty funny too. Let me find this here. All right. So, strippers go on strike in battle against bartenders. This actually is happening in New York. I thought this was pretty funny. I came across this, and you guys can see what's going on here. This is an Instagram video, which I'll probably, let me just, I can't turn the volume down on it, so there might be feedback here. We'll get into this here in a second. So there's a New York stripper strike that has dancers walking off their shifts at jiggle joints across town. One issue that has poll pros up in arms is that a new breed of scantily clad bartenders at city clubs are allegedly earning more. Dancers say that the gyrating but clothed bartenders steal strippers' hard-earned cash by surreptitiously, if I could even pronounce that word. I totally screwed up pronouncing it too. By sweeping cash off of stages onto bar floors when the customers make it rain. Well, here you can actually see this here. So I'm gonna turn my volume down so that we don't get a lot of back, but this might be loud, so hold on. So you can see, look at the girl with the purple hair right there. Watch her just start sweeping the money on the floor, right? So she's twerking, the other girl's twerking, and she's sweeping all the money on the floor while these dudes are just literally making it rain cash. These are all dollar bills, I think. Like, this is like I don't know, that the bartender right there would get her ass beat. The bartender would get her ass beat right there, like flat out. Any of the ones I've worked with. So you can see that she's just knocking down money left and right. And that is, I love this comment here too, from Indie B6BY or Indie Baby, whatever. Oh no, I would end you heel to the face, flying on you like a spider monkey. Your pigtailed self would get dragged on stage since you want to be on it so bad. Don't ever touch my money on the stage. You're a bartender, so quit shaking your ass and sell drinks. And yeah, I've known lots of strippers over the years, and they had a good rapport with the ladies, with the bartenders, but that's a no-no right there. That's a get your ass shanked situation right there. Anyway, so the blog MTO News explains that the lap dancing labor dispute is as a group of the top African American and Latina strippers in New York City have gone on strike. The dancers are claiming that they will not return to work until clubs give them equal treatment with bartenders. The de facto leader of the movement is a local dancer, Giselle Marie. On Instagram, she posted notices for Thursday's NYC stripper strike meeting at the Poltic Justice Pole Dancing and Fitness Studio in the Bronx. Okay. The codes of conduct in the New York City clubs have been breached, she posted. What the dancers are fighting for is the respect and strip club culture in NYC. You gotta, okay, quick pause there. So gamers came out and they fought for gaming culture to not be influenced by SJWs. They were called many things. Strippers are like, we want to protect strip club culture in New York City, and they're going on strike. And I had to, you know what, I have to say bravo to them. Because that chick sweeping the money on the floor, man, like, that's insane. That's a no-no. I have many friends who ran clubs for years, and no, you get shanked. So there are other issues. Okay, so apparently the bartenders don't have to tip the house or the DJs as do the strippers. Now that is true. So this is what happens. This is a bit of an unknown thing with strip clubs. So let's say you go to a strip club and you throw money at a girl while she's on stage, or you give her money for a lap dance. At the end of the night, she not only has to tip out the DJs, the security staff, and the house itself takes their cut. That's where they get most of their money from. So they take a cut out of all of the revenue. Now the girls still come home with a fair amount of money, but they pay out a lot of people. And now the bartenders don't. So in this case, the bartenders are getting paid hourly and also tips, and they're sweeping the girls' money on the floor. Yeah, that's going to cause a bit of problem here. And so then, of course, there's other issues apparently at play here. DJ K Slay posted that there is racism against black women in most of these NY strip clubs. At some of my events, when it's celebrities in the VIP, I have to grab the black women by their hands and pull them into the VIP. Okay, fine. I guess there's also a racism problem there as well, but we're not going to talk about that because it's not even the issue here. These girls are going on strike. These dancers are going on strike because they want to fight back against this kind of thing. And you know what? I'm actually on their side here. I'm on their side pretty much because this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Your money, you don't fuck with someone's money, especially when it comes to stripping. And that bartender right there going around and slapping the money on the ground, she's probably been dealt with in a couple different ways, if you know what I mean. Like somebody probably has given her a stern talking to, or, you know, a 5-finger hello sort of thing. But yeah, I came across this story yesterday. I thought it'd be pretty funny to share here. And I think with that, we've been on for about a little over an hour and I think 20 minutes of stories. That's a lot of stories tonight. Going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Did 10 full stories tonight. I think we did pretty good, actually. So I think we'll kind of play out the rest of the hour just chit-chatting with everybody here. Now is your time for the feedback. Anything you guys like about this particular new setup I've got going on. Anything we could do to make it better, more fun, more engaging. I do want to open it up eventually to maybe more of a Q&A section on the Discord. You guys could come on in there and join up, and then also like we'll open up the voice chat and get people in there and have conversations as well. I do want this to be more of a fun kind of just talk about the news, not make it the actual video, and then make it more engaging. So there's definitely that. Cytotron, I always make time fly. Thank you very much. If you don't pay a stripper for a lap dance, is that shoplifting? Entirely possible. Taiyon. I'm actually, my first time going to a strip club, I overcompensated how much money I had for the lap dances I had accrued, and the woman was very friendly with me and let me off with not having to pay her. I want to say about probably $75, which I didn't have. So, oh my God. Japeth, thank you very much for liking the live stream. It's my favorite Spielberg movie, man, is actually my favorite movie of all time, and that would be Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's my favorite movie of all time. So, hey, Free Press Kekistan, dude, it's all good, man. Money is money, and you got to shout out on the show, which is all good, too. Did I see the Drunken Peasants debate with Razor Fist and Kyle? I did not, actually. I've been meaning to go back and watch that. I didn't hear anything about it either. Nobody told me anything about it. Drake, you prefer the old format? Why do you prefer the old format? Just out of curiosity. Have you ever heard of a band called Nothing More? I haven't. The Ben C says there's no strip clubs within 2 hours of here. That's unfortunate, but you probably have Tinder, so that you might find a little bit of better luck on Tinder. So yours is Jurassic Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's too expensive for the little payoff. Well, let me tell you this, Ben. Here's the reason why strip clubs are liked. They're liked because it gives men who normally either don't have power when it comes to women, like they're just not the most, I don't want to say aggressive, but they're not like the most suave or debonair. And they have the ability then to kind of pick and choose. So it's more of like a power thing for them, a power fantasy for them to have that ability in a safe place, so to speak. Whereas it also does give men who are more kind of grabby and handsy with some of the women in real life. I don't want to say they have the ability to do that there, because they don't, but there's a bit more of an open environment for, like, I want to say kind of like, the verbal kind of stuff. I've seen some shit go down in strip clubs, especially because where I was going to clubs, it was by, Navy base, and military dudes, when they're drunk and looking at titties, it just never really goes over well for anyone. Oh, there were defined breaks between stories that you were confused. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure out like how to do the defined breaks. So we'll probably end up going through some stuff. I don't want to treat it like the old program, because I only went through 3 stories, so we'd have time to kind of talk in between. Here's more of a rapid fire going through a whole bunch of them in the same amount of time. So I kind of feel like it's more of a faster paced show, which I like quite a bit. Thoughts on Blade Runner 2049? I really loved it, Noah. If you want to see my review, it's over on 3 Buck Theater. What happens in the champagne room generally ends in a handjob. No, I'm kidding. Whatever, what the champagne room is a champagne room. It's a little bit more hands-on there. There's Vice doesn't tend to normally go into the VIP room. In some cases, the VIP room, like so your standard lap dance couches are like, I've been to a club where it was just like the entire outside of all the walls of the club had all the couches, and that's where the lap dances took place, where anyone could watch it happen. That's kind of a weird thing. I've been to other clubs where everything's in like, kind of a little booth in the back, but you go into the back, the VIP room. It's meant to give you this idea where it's like there's a little bit more hands-on stuff. There's really not a great deal of more hands-on stuff. You actually get a fair amount There's security cameras everywhere, and they're always watching, by the way, because they have to. So in every booth you go to, by the way, if you ever go get a lap dance and you go into a little booth for the lap dance, there's a security camera feed above you, pumping into the manager's office. So that's going to be a thing. You're going to see that regardless. So there's definitely that. It's something to consider with that. So yeah, Drake, I'll figure it all out, man. We'll figure it all out. For the lap dance, go commando wearing synthetic tracksuit pants with lube on the inside. It's like sex. Okay, that's going a little bit too far. I would say we're thin khakis, man. We're thin khakis. Not that I know from experience or anything. The Bruce. What do I do about having sex with a woman who have kids? I don't know. Are you like? I mean, she's had kids, so she's DTF. She's at least been DTF a couple times because she's had kids. I don't know what you're trying to ask me there. Just hire prostitutes, secular penguins. You're not wrong, man. Prostitution should be legal. I think if prostitution was legal in this country, and taxed and regulated, we would see a lot fewer cases of sexual assault. To be honest with you, so slacks work too. Slacks always work. But I did see here from Kayla Nanya saying to make she donated money, kicked in super chat wise, to make free press of Kekistan feel better. Hi Matt, heart the content. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So yeah, the cameras are there to keep the girl safe. Yes, absolutely. So no, there's more of a portion. Yes, I agree. There's more of a positive than a negative in terms of how that plays out. Absolutely. It's all about the girls' protection. Many of those girls can definitely handle things on their own. Trust me. But yes, I completely agree. So at strip clubs, always carry out your keys in your front pocket. Sure. Good Halloween movies. Is it legal if you have a video camera? I don't think so, because you're kind of recording on private property, but you're being recorded. I don't know if it goes both ways. Let's see here. What would my stripper name be? Fuck, dude. I don't know. I'd probably call myself like Canadian Bacon. I think is what I'd call myself. Like, ladies and gentlemen, mainly ladies, are you here for the thunder from the great... Wait, hold on. The dork from the great white north coming to you live right now. It's Canadian Bacon. And I just come out like... Just twerking. I have literally no ass. I have no ass at all. So it's just like, fuck that shit. It's horrible stuff. It doesn't ever work. I'm not going to sit there and make my stripper name Matt Jarbone. That's not going to work out very well. He's about to bring the sizzle. That's right. It should be Matt Largebone. Oh. So yeah, no, I don't twerk, man. I don't twerk. Prostitution is legal if you have a video camera. It also depends on the district you're in, the county you're in, and their laws on pornography. So there is definitely a thing there where you have to be very careful about how you do that, because there are laws on the books. I should star in the next Full Monty. No. I'm good. I think I'm okay. I think I'm all right. So there's definitely that. L Master, have fun masturbating tonight before you go to bed, man. You're just gonna be thinking of me doing all that shit. Just look up the turd tickler on YouTube. Shut the fuck up, Doubting Tommy. Hold on, Base Mama. What did I say? What did I say months ago? I don't know what I said months ago. I almost said Thunder from Down Under. I know, I was thinking like Thunder from Down Under. I was thinking like the dork from the great white north. But yeah. Magic Mike 3, no, not at all. Not at all. Oh, you're watching Stranger Things? I finished it up last night. Really liked it. I thought Stranger Things was pretty badass. Good new season. Good stuff there. So let's see here. I'm curious to see. I am pretty sure that this particular stream will already be demonetized, because that's how they're operating now. Maybe not. They finally fucking remonetized everything. Awesome. Jesus Christ, they've been getting a little bit better about that. Like they hit everything from yesterday. Um, it's still pretty bad, but at least stuff now is doing okay. Yeah. Yeah. God damn it. Yeah. Basically, because they demonetized stuff, I lost like half the money I would have earned yesterday, which is just goddamn horseshit. But whatever, man. Whatever. You know, it is what it is and shit. But that's fine. That's fine. Like, let's see here. To give you guys an idea, I had 23,000 views on the Candace Owens video I did yesterday, and that was demonetized from the start. So that's been now monetized. But the total amount I earned on that was $8. So they just fuck with you there. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to look into ripping the audio from this and treating this as a podcast. I'll probably cut out some of the stuff in between, or maybe keep it going. I don't know if I will probably be back on tomorrow night. Probably not Tuesday night, but definitely. Well, no, my girlfriend's got work, so I could probably do Tuesday for Halloween and everything. I don't know. Again, we don't have a set schedule. This is a tester, but we'll definitely do more of these things. I appreciate everyone watching, everyone hanging out. Thank you very much for the super chats and also the Streamlab donations, which looks pretty good here for all that. I like that quite a bit. I think that good tip jar, half full. Not, you know, I'm a half full kind of guy. And be sure to hit up the Discord. Chat with me on there. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. Yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. And thank you very much for watching the first episode of Rustl'd.